There are bran cakes in the glove compartment. Oh.
Oh my god, what a year. This has been a very, very strange ride indeed. So if you saw my last video titled 2022, there's a few things I wanted to address because I'm starting to make this a yearly thing now. I don't really know why, but I've just decided, hey, you know what? I should probably let you guys know around New Year's how the year went because I think it just wraps things up in my mind. And if you guys are curious at all about what goes on behind the scenes, then there you go. So the whole theme, I think, with last year was rock bottom, right? How does one recover when they've hit rock bottom? Because I definitely hit rock bottom last year. And the weird thing was, for a time, it sort of trickled into 2022 as well, where I hit more rock bottom. And just to recap some of the bad stuff that went down. So I mentioned last year in the last video that I applied for college. I applied to get a master's degree in creative writing, and I was pretty certain that I was going to get it. I had wrote something out that was really, it was peer reviewed. It looked really good. I turned it in. And I remember I watched the video recently and I'm like, oh yeah. In the video, I'm like, oh yeah, if I don't get in, I don't know what I'm going to do because that really is a slam as me, a slam to me as a writer. So where am I going to go from there? And guess what? I didn't get in. They sent me a rejection letter. That sucked. So definitely not a good start to the year. Very, very disheartening. Very, yep. And that was in like February-ish, around that time. Around the same time, Tim and I had a bit of a falling out for reasons I'm not going to get into because you guys don't need to know. It's something between he and I. We had a bit of a feud, and I'm not going to discuss it any more than that because, quite frankly, it's nobody's business. So all of my projects with him were summarily canceled. So after that, I literally had nothing because I had no projects to work on. I had no outs when it came to my future, right? When it came to the things that I enjoy doing, it felt like I was being rejected. And I was technically being rejected by the institutions that I was trying to get into to become more successful in what I do. All throughout that year, I was in and out of relationships. I was interested in people, and things took off a little bit, and then they didn't. And I was heartbroken, and I was boo-hooey and whiny. So there was a lot of you could see in the last video, in the 2022 video, like there's just so much quit in my eyes. There's so much, God, I don't want to do this anymore. And part of that I don't want to do this anymore came from some of the pain and the hurt that I was feeling with regards to relationships and with regards to friendships and people. And as you can see, that hurt only got worse as I went through the first half of 2022. On top of all of that, I think I mentioned this in a video once, my grandma was diagnosed with cancer. And it has been the single biggest dark cloud that has loomed over my entire household for the last, she was diagnosed in like May, June, something like that. So for the last 6 months, it's been, she's got to get her chemo appointments and, we got to make sure that she's doing okay, that she's eating well, that she's feeling well. And, it's been very tough on her. It's been very tough on everybody, but she's fighting it. It's like I said last year, she's a fighter. And, there's some hope. So we'll just have to keep holding on to that hope and see where it goes. This entire year, I have been kicked directly in the ball sack. Well, at least the first half, anyway. Most of this year, I have been kicked in the ball sack. But there was one shining beacon in the whole of this year. I met somebody, and I have fallen head over heels for this person. And meeting her was the greatest thing that ever happened to me, honestly. I felt like I had been kicked to the ground so many times, and she just picked me right up and dusted me off, and that sounded weird, but you get what I'm saying. She picked me up and pushed me back into play, and now I'm back into play. But there was also something inside of me too that said, you know what, I don't want my life to be like this. I don't want to just quit. In the other video, I mentioned that I was interested in doing, not that I was interested, but that I might not have a choice but to end up in some sort of tech job, some sort of programming job. Cybersecurity was a big interest of mine. Well, guess what? I took a cybersecurity class and a programming class, and guess what? Nope. Just no. There's just something about ones and zeros and code and computing that just do not click in my brain. I was never a big math student. Mathematics is one of my weakest subjects, and there is a great deal of that that they don't really talk about when it comes to programming. You have to have a certain mindset, because when you're coding, the code is either correct or it's not, right? And if the code isn't correct, it doesn't run. The program will not operate. If you miss one space, one underscore, one letter, one number, the entire code is thrashed. The program doesn't work. And that was always my biggest hurdle with mathematics, because no matter what you do in math, excuse me, the answer is either correct or it's incorrect, and there's no in between. There is no communication. There is no working around it. There's no being abstract and trying to figure things out from a different perspective, at least when it comes to lower division stuff. Obviously, theoretical mathematics and things like that that's a totally different animal. So because it has that same sort of mindset, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I'm way too much of an overthinker. I'm an abstract thinker. I try my best to look at things from different angles, and you can't really do that. There's no freedom. There's no flexibility in mathematics. And in the same way, there's no freedom or flexibility in programming. So coming to that realization, I just kind of went, you know what? I don't have a choice anymore. Like, if editing and artwork and writing and things like that, if those are the things I'm actually good at, and those are the things that I take interest in, and those are the things that I've sort of been trained in, those are my strong suits, that's what I have to do. And if that means that I'm penniless and starving, so be it. But at least I'm going to do what I was meant to do in the first place. I'm not going to waste my life going into something that I probably am not suited for, and is probably something that I will be very miserable doing. So here I am. I'm back, and when I realized that, and I made that realization, I decided, hey, then it's time to get serious about things. So I self-published a book of poetry. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. I mean, I already made a video about it, of course, but if you want to see, it's there. You could check it out. And I think that was really the big first step for me, because that was sort of my way of telling myself, you know what, you have to do something, right? And failure is always, I hate that expression, failure is not an option. It is an option, because from failure you learn, right? And there was a lot of failure that I had when I was writing this. There was a lot of frustration, because there was a great deal of poems that I didn't like, or that I felt weren't up to snuff. And so there was a lot of editing, and there was a lot of proofreading, and there was a lot of organization, and it took time and it took effort, but I did it. And now I can tell myself, hey, you did this. You created something. You've made a piece of literature that you've always wanted to do. You've always wanted to make a book, and you did it. So that was a point of pride for me. And I think from that moment on, I decided, well, then it's time to really get to work looking for things, posting your thoughts and your ideas and your opinions. And because of that, I also have a blog that I've been working on through Medium. Medium is a great website for people who are, independent journalists, people who are amateur writers, for them to just sort of get their ideas and their thoughts down. If you guys want to check that out, again, there will be a link in the description for you to check it out. This year has been tough. It's weird. It's been more difficult than 2021. But it's also been very eye-opening, and it's been very exciting towards the end. There's a lot of hope that I have now that I didn't have before. And it's weird to have my hope oscillate back and forth. I made that video titled 2021, in which I was talking about the whole year of 2020. And even though it was a crap year for everybody, I still had this sense of possibility, the sense of hope. Like, I just graduated college, and I said to myself, well, hey, I have this degree. This is worth something. It's not, but I had that idea in my head. This is worth something, and I can do something with this. And then in 2021, the entire year, it was a nightmare. I lost all of my hope. I lost my ambition. I didn't want to do anything. I was very depressed. And in part, that's part of the reason why I look the way I look in a lot of those videos. It's weird looking back on them, where like my hair's down to here and I've got the big old beard thing. And, you know, part of that was a style choice. I wanted to see what my hair would look like long. I've never had it super long before. But the other part was just being unkempt and being unruly because I didn't care what I looked like anymore. I just didn't give a damn about anything. But things are so different now, you know? It's weird. And I said that last year too, except I said it in a bad way. Now I'm saying it in a good way. Yeah, 2023 is looking a lot brighter than 2022 did. And, you know, we'll see. You never know. I may come back to you guys and have a video titled 2024. And in that video, I go, oh my God, this was the worst year of my life. But for now, I'm just sort of reveling in the moment. And I'm enjoying the fact that I have things now that I didn't before. My partner has been such a huge light in my life. She's given me back everything that I lost. You know, it was through her that I made a lot of new friends that are just fantastic people. I'm so grateful for her. I really am. And I'm really grateful for Jordan and Nick too, who stuck around. And we're also huge factors in me picking myself up and trying again. But on top of that, she also gave me the willingness to start again. You know, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gotten back into streaming. By the way, that's something I've been doing a lot more lately, is I've been streaming. I know I haven't uploaded a lot of videos on YouTube, but I have been streaming a lot, like a whole lot on Twitch. I know a while ago I made a video, it was like, don't waste your time with Twitch. Well, that's true if you start off and you don't have any connections. You'll probably only get 1 or 2 viewers. But it was through her that I was able to get more people to come and check me out. And, you know, I'm doing okay now. I made Twitch affiliate, which was a really big deal. And, you know, I'm very proud of the community that's very small still, but I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud that we're growing the way we are. I really, really love having people come in and just hang out, you know, just talk. It's amazing. It feels like, you know, people are just coming and watching you play some video games and you guys are hanging out on the couch almost, you know. There's this warm fuzziness that you get from people who are actually right there talking to you and hanging out with you that you don't really get with YouTube, that you don't get with the YouTube comments. But again, all of that was thanks to her. I was not going to do it. Actually, it took a lot of convincing on her part. She's like, I think, you know, you have this sort of talent for entertainment, and you know, she's like, I can help get some people to check you out. And, you know, I was like, all right, I'll try again. Sure. Why not? And I did. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad she pushed me in that direction. You know, and it's because of her that I have a desire now more than ever to write, and to become the man that I've always wanted to be. So in sum, 2022 was a cruel mistress, but also an important year for me. I think that there was a lot of pain that I went through that if I didn't go through it, I wouldn't have been able to move past it, and I wouldn't have been able to grow and mature in such a short amount of time as I already have. It's been weird. It's been really weird, but I'm happy. I can honestly say that, and I haven't been happy in a pretty long time. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. You know what I'd really appreciate is all of you guys checked out the links, all of these links in the video. I'm going to leave a link, as I've said, to my Medium and to Twitch as well. I would like you guys to check out my Twitch channel, Den's Not Dead. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it, and I hope that you guys will come along and check it out. I'm making a big plan, a big push to start really getting serious about uploading articles and things to Medium, because I want to be a writer and because I want that resume. Basically, I want a resume builder. You know, I want something where if I apply for a position as an editor or as a journalist somewhere, then people will look at this and they'll go, hey, this guy can write. Like, okay, fine. He lacks experience. He doesn't have the 2 to 5 or whatever it is they always say on their freaking job applications. But, they look at that and they go, hey, wait a minute. This kid knows what he's doing. He can write. So let's give him a chance. But if you guys can support me in that, that's going to help me tremendously, because the more support I have, the more word goes around, the more claps and likes and whatever system that they use to show support, the better off I'm going to be, because it's going to look better for me. It's going to look better on my resume. So if you guys read my stuff and you like it, please leave some claps, make an account. It would change everything for me. Outside of that, just keep being you. Keep being awesome, I know that even in this video, there's still going to be people who have been following my stuff for, almost a decade now, which is crazy. Like and I think, so next year and then the year after that, 2024 will officially be 10 years of me uploading stuff to YouTube. And that is ridiculous to me. That is just unfathomable. It's been a weird run. There's a lot of stuff that I really miss from my past. I miss 2014. There's a lot of videos. I was just going through these the other day, and I saw a lot of videos with Keenan, and us just going on stupid adventures and doing stupid things. And God, I miss those days. I really do. And there's also a lot of stuff from that time I don't miss, and then I'm glad it's gone. And I think most of it is very recent. But I'm also very hopeful for the future. The clouds are parting, and things are looking a bit brighter. So thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for all your support over the years. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys in more comments. I know I'm going to be uploading more YouTube videos. There's no question about that. It won't be as frequent, and that's okay. But there will be more videos coming for sure. So I hope I see you guys in my comments. I hope I see you guys in my live stream. And I hope I see you guys on my Medium. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. And I'll see you guys very soon.